Hi, it's me. This video is to help you navigate the Mott Library databases a little bit. I am new to Zoom. I am bound to make mistakes. So bear with me, please. I apologize for sort of the grainy quality. It's not only just my camera on the computer, I think, but also the light. I'm in the basement because it's the quietest place in the house. So bear with me there too, please. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Share. And then you can see what I can see as well. So I should be down in the lower right corner. I have already logged into the Mott Library website. You go to Mott Community College website, you scroll down the front page and click on the Mott Library. Excuse me. I swear to God, it's just sparkling water. And then you click on like the databases, the online resources is what it is. And then because you're not working on campus, it'll prompt you to enter that 14-digit code. And as you can see right here, what's my barcode number, right? You see my cursor moving here. You have to get that 14-digit code to be able to use the databases remotely. So once you put that in, it takes you back to this page. Over here, we're going to look at the general databases, and I am going to click on this one, EBSCO OneSearch, and it brings up this page, okay? One of the kinds of sources that you need to get for your annotated bibliography is a peer-reviewed article from a scholarly journal. Scholarly journals or academic journals are sources that are within a given academic discipline. They are written for people in that discipline and not necessarily for you and me. So they can be kind of hard to access in terms of the language that they use. That's the reason why I assigned that one article this week about how to read scholarly sources, right? But you have to find one. So my suggestion is that you start with Academic Search Complete. That's this database right here. I'm also going to scroll down. There are a lot of other databases. They change pretty often. I'm going to scroll down and let's see, look for something in psychology. And it'll be clear for in a minute why. I don't know if it will produce anything that I need, but here we go, psychology and behavioral sciences. I'm going to click on those two. I'm going to go back up to the top. I'm not going to click on select and deselect all because this button here, that will search every database and it takes forever. So we don't want that. But I want these two databases. So your topic is to explore something that contributes to your well-being. Well, I'm going to explore the ukulele. I've already have a sample annotated bibliography about tulips, something else that contributes to my well-being, under the assignments tab under annotated bibliography. So you can take a look at what that looks like. But I'm going to do a new one on the ukulele. It does contribute to my well-being. I practiced for 2 hours last night. It was a lot of fun. It is really helping me manage my stress levels during our little shutdown here. So if I type in just ukulele, I'm going to get all kinds of things and click, and it's going to bring back 300. If you take a look at this here, 301 results, right? All right, so I haven't given you a whole lot of direction about what kind of information to look for. I really want you to find something to sort of cast a wide net, as I said, and gather information to learn about the subject that you're researching. So I'm going to go over here with ukulele, and if you take a look at the left side of the screen, there is a way to limit your search to a kind of text. You do want to have linked full text checked. You also want to check then scholarly peer-reviewed journals, because that's the one we're looking for, right? That brings it back to 24. Wow. So I also want, it's from 1955 to 2019 are the publication dates. I want to have recent information. I'm going to go back 14 years. Usually I'd recommend 10, but I'm going to go back 14. And that further limits it to 20, right? So now I have 20 scholarly things to look at if I want to. And they've got all kinds of stuff. You've got the top one, uke, flow, and rock and roll. Okay. So you're thinking about starting a ukulele program. And that's, if you take a look at that, that says music education, music rooms and equipment. So that's, music educators, obviously. Ukulele affections and Hawaiian family connections. Without you, it's just ukulele. Expressions of leisure and ohana in an intergenerational ukulele club. All right, I'm not going to lie, that sounds interesting. I'm going to right click on that one and open that up in a new tab so I have it. Show you that in a minute. General music today, music ideas, technology of inclusion, redefining and gendering the ukulele in Atlantic Canada. You know what? I'm going to right click on that too because I want to know what they mean by gendering. I just think it's really interesting. Building your own musical community, how YouTube, Miley Cyrus, and the ukulele can create a new kind of ensemble. Ooh, it mentions Miley Cyrus. I have to look at that. Ooh, 21 songs in 6 days. Learn ukulele the easy way. I am right clicking on all of these, and I am in Firefox, by the way. Use only Firefox or Google. Do not use Explorer. It doesn't really work very well. And I'm clicking on all of these so that I can save this original search here. And I'm also very comfortable with having a lot of tabs open. I know some people are not, but I am. The ukulele appears from somewhere, ukulele letter written on it. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So next one. Music education for all through participatory ensembles from the editor, media as an invitation to rethink music education. I'm not surprised by the number of hits I got on this, which is low, only 20, nor am I surprised by how many are specific to music education because from what I understand, ukuleles are being used an awful lot, especially in grammar schools, to teach music education because they're cheap and they're fairly easy to learn. So, all right, so I've got a whole bunch of things up here. Without you, it's just ukulele, expressions of leisure and ohana in an intergenerational ukulele club. That's interesting to me. There is, as with many academic journal articles, there is an abstract at the top. This gives you an overview of what the article is like. Let's see, the purpose of this intrinsic case study was to examine the musical and social underpinnings of the Dallas ukulele headquarters. Specifically, this research explored the impetus and evolution of that's hilarious, Dallas ukulele headquarters, the appeal of ukulele culture is expressed by club members and the members' perceived sense of identity within a diverse community group. Okay, now one of the things that um, I am trying to research, right, is about ukuleles, not just about ukuleles, but how playing the ukulele contributes to my sense of well-being. I get from reading this abstract that since it's about a club of people who find some sort of identity through the ukulele, that this may have some information maybe about the benefits of playing ukulele, right? So I want to see, I've got this information here and I want to see the whole article. So I'm going to go up over here and click on the PDF full text. Now the PDF full text comes up and the beauty of this is that you get the article as it appeared in the journal, including with page numbers, which is really nice, but just as it's supposed to appear in the academic journal. So you can see things like headings the way they're supposed to look, and you've got ooh, a nice photo of ukulele participants, which look like a room full of old people like me, which is I think I found my people. Okay, so you have that. So you get graphics and other things embedded in the article in a way that they would appear in print. And that's why the PDF, if you can find it, is so very important because I think it's a whole lot easier to read too. So I'm scrolling through this and I'm scrolling through. I haven't read any of it yet, obviously. But one of the things I want to do is I want to go all the way to the end. And I am sorry about how dizzying this is if you're looking at it on the screen. Okay, so this has at the end, if you can see this here, it says references. At the end of an article like this in a scholarly journal, if it says references, if it says notes, if it says works cited, that means that it has been researched, right? This looks like this is the research that the people who wrote this used for their article. So this in essence is a research paper. You want to find that for this kind of source, right? So I'm gonna move myself out of the way a little bit. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning. Whee! And what I wanna do, I don't have time. I'm researching. I don't have time to read this whole thing right now. So what I want to do is I want to send it to myself so that I can read it from home. I am home. So that I can read it a little bit later when I have the time to actually read it, right? Over here on the right-hand side, there is a button, an email button. And when you click that, it brings this up. It says from ephost, at epnet.com, and I'm going to email it to myself. I'm going to email it to myself. Paula Weston, right, at mcc.edu. Subject, ukulele club. You know what? I'm just going to put duh, and then so that I know that I'm not referring to myself in other ways. Ukulele. There, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to. I don't need any notes or anything, and I'm just going to send it, and that's going to come to my MCC inbox, and so I can access this again. When I want to read it, right? Continue. Okay. Another thing I want to show you about this is the citation. So say this is the journal that I want to use for my annotated bibliography, and I'm logged in and I'm looking at it over here. Oh, that's export. Cite. Okay, so if you see this, you can click on this over here on the right-hand side, cite, however that, and it brings up all of the citations in all of these formats, and you scroll down to MLA, and that's the one right there. Right? So say I want to use this article for my annotated bibliography. Say this is the one, right? Well, I'm going to copy it and I'm going to open up a Word document, which will probably take a million years because my computer's kind of slow. So, told you. Okay, so you click on a blank document. And all I'm going to do right now is I'm going to click and paste that in there. Yeah. All right. Now, it's not in the right format necessarily. It's got all of the right ingredients, but it doesn't have all of the right, it doesn't have the right spacing. It's not in the right font or anything like that. I'm going to make sure, since today is March 24th, I'm going to write the day that I accessed it. Accessed 24 March 2020, period. And then I'm just going to save, and I'm going to save it. Come on, save as. I'm going to throw this up on my desktop right now because I'm going to use it a little bit later and put it somewhere else. You really shouldn't save things to your desktop, but I'm going to save this as annotated. Oh, come on, I can do this. Annotated bib notes, and I'm going to say winter 2020. In fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do EN 101 because that's what I tend to do, right? Okay, so those are my annotated bibliography notes, right? So I'm going to save that, and so I can come back then when I have more time, but now I've got that citation and it's right there. I can come back and format it, but it's right there where I need it. So I'm just going to get out of that because I don't really need that. Okay, so that was actually a really easy search. They don't usually go that way. I might use that one, but I'll take a look at the other ones too. Technology of inclusion, redefining and gendering the ukulele in Atlantic Canada. Is there a PDF? There is, which is really nice. See what the abstract says first. Oh, hey. From the late 1960s to the mid 1980s, ukulele was the spark plug of an extracurricular music program in the Halifax school system, ignoring the instrument's novelty associations. Yeah, you know what? That doesn't do anything for me. I'm not a music educator, so I don't really need that. So we're going to get rid of that one. Here, I can't see the tab there, right? So building your own musical community, how YouTube, Miley Cyrus, and the ukulele can create a new kind of ensemble. All right. This one doesn't have a PDF. It's got an HTML full text, so I'll click on that. At least I can see, right, what the article is. I can read the whole article without having to access it somewhere else. I don't know if it's researched. I don't know if I'm going to need it, but you know what? This is interesting enough to me that I'm going to email it to myself. This also has the option of saving. Let me email it first, and then we'll save it. I'm going to say Miley Cyrus ukulele. That's my subject line. So I'm going to send it. Let's see where it lets me save too. So if I save, I don't know where it's going to have me save. So I'm not going to do that. All right, so, and I can cite to, oh, one other thing I want to show you. Okay, so when you log in, a lot of these have options for you to listen to them. And so I can listen to this article being read to me in an American accent, an Australian accent, or a British accent. So we can listen in. We can listen in. Miley Cyrus. Pretty exciting, huh? You know what? Let's read it in the Australian accent. Let's listen. Oh, I don't think it's available. That's disappointing. What about the Brit accent? Okay, well, the American accent it is. So that's kind of an interesting thing. If you need it read to you, or if you want to, oh. So I recommend the American accent for all kinds of reasons. But it's kind of if you need that extra help when you're reading along, it highlights what you're reading. You can read along with it. I think that's a really good thing for certain learning styles. So there's that. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to send this one to myself too, because just for personal reasons, right? So I'm not even going to give a subject line. Okay, so say though, you know, that was actually a fairly easy search, like an incredibly easy search. Let's say it's not working out so well, right? Say you're really kind of frustrated and confused and you don't know where to look. Well, I'm going to go to Academic Search Complete again. And let's see. And down to psychology again, right? Because one of the things that I'm interested in researching, oh, hello. Okay, one of the things that I'm interested in researching and is how I benefit from this, not just that I benefit from this, but how I benefit from this. So maybe your topic is about a relationship that you have with somebody. You can't really write about a person, but you can write about a relationship that you have. You know, the benefit that you have from being in a partnership, or the benefit that you get from friendship, or being a parent, or a child, or a sibling, or whatever, right? There's that. Or you're looking at your relationship with within a religious context and how your faith benefits you. Or you're looking at maybe um, you know, one of the things that you get uh, great pleasure from is an activity that you perform, whether it's by yourself or with others, like, you know, gaming, or something else that's essential to your well-being is exercise, or um, maybe you are learning a new skill, right? All of these things imply a process, and all of these things have a psychological aspect to them, right? Like, why are these things beneficial to us? And that's the reason why I checked the psychology and sociology database, because I'm going to search a little wider, and say I hadn't found those articles about the ukulele so incredibly easily, you know, maybe I'm just going to benefit. Maybe I'm going to research, you know, the benefits of learning a musical instrument, right? So I'm going to say adult learning musical instrument benefits. Okay, I'm going to see what comes up. So, all right, so I'm going to go 3. Oh, that's bad, right? Music therapy for older people, psychological effect, music psychology. That actually looks like a really good one. So I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to see when it's from. What does it say it's from? April of 2018. Selling the benefits of music. How many of your customers? Oh, no. Not playing anymore. All right, so okay, so now I run into a roadblock, right? I really want to find out more about the benefits of learning a new skill in adulthood. So instead of learning a musical instrument, I'm gonna um, look up learning a new skill, right? And that's applicable to a lot of things. Maybe one of the things that you're doing, maybe your topic is about learning something new to benefit yourself, whether it's a hobby or a skill or a habit that you're trying to create, right? So learning, let's do this, benefits of learning new skill, adult. We'll see what happens. And 109, right? So I'm going to go back down here, scholarly journals, peer reviewed, 94, and I'm going to come over here again and limit to 13 or 16 years is fine, right? Let's do this. Nope, that's not doing it. Sorry. It didn't update automatically, and I don't know why. There we go. All right. I had to move it again for some reason. Fine. Okay, so chest x-rays, evaluating training to promote critical thinking skills for determining children's safety, self-directed learning and the sense-making paradox, contemplation in the classroom, a new direction for, and there are 60 sources is not too many to look through, believe it or not. I know you don't want to hear that, but I don't want to look through 60 sources, right? So I'm going to go down here and look at subject, thematic analysis, ability, higher education, learning, young adults, decision-making, focus groups, training, acoustic stimulation, adult education workshops. Wow, I don't know. So I hope that this shows you that people who are experienced in researching also have difficulty sometimes researching. So I don't know. I'm just gonna look through. It just seems easier. Not just helping what and how older men learn when they volunteer, the cost of structured learning, excuse me, effects of free cued and module reflection, thematic analysis, common stressful life events and difficulties are associated with mental health symptoms and substance use in young adolescents. Okay, so you know what? I just figured out that maybe my learning parameters are wrong. And I'm going to do this instead. Academic search complete. And I'm going to go down to psychology again. And I'm going to hit continue. And I'm going to hit mental health. And then playing an instrument. Let's see what comes up here. 77 of them. Again, I'm going to limit to the scholarly. And I'm going to maybe, all right. The impact of child abuse, history, domestic violence, and mental health. When I see a note I play it, musical identity enacted in community orchestra, health condition and risk attitude in the Dutch population. There are only 60 here again. The association between singing and or playing a musical instrument and cognitive function in older adults. Ooh! Now, you may not be an older adult, but if this is a topic that you are looking at, you're hoping to sometimes eventually become an older adult. And while I am older, I'm not that old. So I'm going to look at the PDF full text and abstract. Cognitive decline happens to everyone when aging, but to some more than others. Studies with children, adults, and professional musicians suggest that making music could be associated with better cognitive functioning. In older adults, however, this association is less well investigated. Okay, so this is from December 2016, which is pretty good. This is from the Aging and Mental Health, the Journal of Aging and Mental Health. I am not their target audience. There are going to be things in this article that are difficult for me to read. It looks very well researched. If I scroll all the way to the end, I'm going to find references. and then funding, and then references, and there they are. Once again, I am going to send this to myself. And I'm just going to hit send, and it's going to send it off to me, right? So that is sort of an overview of how to use this. There are other databases here to use. We can look at, I can't get out of there. We can look at JSTOR. And if we look at JSTOR, it brings this up. And I'm just gonna type in the same thing, mental health, playing music. That's what I'm gonna do and see what comes up, right? It already tells me I've got 24,000 results here, 17,469 results. I'm going to limit this to, see where it says journals, books, research reports. I'm going to click journals. And then that's going to bring it down to 12,000, which is still way too many, right? And so I'm going to, publication date, I'm going to do from 2008 to 2020. And that will pull it down to 2,673, which is way too many for me to read, right? So I can further narrow this down by subject. JSTOR is really good for this. There's sociology. I don't want sociology. Psychology. I'm gonna go there. See what happens, right? And then the top one, individual music therapy for mental health, making links between group analysis and group music therapy. This brings 135, which is more than I'm sure you want to look through, but I'm comfortable with that number. So practice does not make perfect. No causal effect of music practice on musical ability. You know what? I'm looking at that one. Here in JSTOR, it says, okay, so I can download the PDF. I accept their conditions, etc. I'm going to read the abstract here, though. The relative importance of nature and nurture for various forms of expertise has been intensely debated. Music proficiency is viewed as a general model for expertise and associations, yada, yada, yada. So it goes along, right? And basically, it's talking about whether or not practice helps you improve. I might want to look at this. So I'm going to email it. I'm going to share it by email. I think I am. I could be wrong. I'm not. I'm going to download this PDF. I accept and proceed, and I download. And then I can save it. Where am I? Over here? No. Save file. And I'm just going to click OK. And it's going to save it for me so I can pull it up later. And I will do that. But additionally, I want to show you how to cite. It's got that same thing where you can cite the item, and in this one you can just copy it to a clipboard. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go, well, I already closed that, didn't I? That was stupid. I'm going to go to my annotated bib notes, pull that up, and then I'm going to paste it in there, and there it is, right? And save that again. So I'm hoping that this helps a little bit with looking at the journals, the databases for the scholarly journals. These are not easy articles usually to read, even for experienced readers. My advice would be, if you're having difficulty based on your topic finding something, increase your circle of research and try to find things that are related to your topic, right? If I hadn't found anything about the ukulele, I could have found something about other musical instruments or about the benefits of learning musical instruments. If I hadn't found anything about that, I might have been able to find something about, say, the benefits of maintaining a hobby, or of social, or of hobbies with social interaction, because I do have some social interaction with my ukulele playing. If for example my topic were something very different, like maybe a career that I want to move into, and that is absolutely a really good topic, and students often pursue it with this particular assignment. Um, and I can't find anything on my specific career. Say I want to start my own business. This is actually an issue that students run into quite frequently. Very specific business. Like I had a student who wanted to start his own lawn mowing business a few years ago, and so that was, essential to his well-being was being self-sufficient and starting his own lawn mowing business. He couldn't find anything specific to starting up his lawn mowing business, right? But he could find things related to starting a business and being a small business owner. So sometimes you have to get a little creative about what you want to find and the kind of information that you think you can find. Now, I haven't given you the directions for the essay yet, and I understand that that's probably very frustrating. I want you to explore the topic and know that you will be explaining to an audience basically why this particular thing that you're researching contributes to your well-being, how it contributes to your well-being, and then you'll be educating them a little bit about it. So I don't want you to think in terms of the research paper yet. I really want you to think in terms of having to do the research, right? So hopefully this helped a little bit. I'm sorry about my clumsiness and my rambling. It's just like I am in class, I know. Um, Obviously, ask questions on the discussion board about the class. The general discussion board about the class is where you should ask questions about doing research. And I will help you there. And also, I'm sure that your classmates can help you too. So that's all I got for right now for this. And ask those questions and keep doing that research. And now I'm going to get out of this clumsily because I've never done this before.